Relationships Australia Victoria is committed to gender equality. My name is Felicity Vance and I work for Relationships Australia Victoria. I'm the Programs Coordinator for the Healthy Clubs project, which we've been running to address gender inequality in sporting clubs and help educate sporting clubs about why gender equality is so important.
For me, gender equality means giving everyone a fair go and giving everyone the same opportunities to succeed.
I think, to be honest, gender equality is important not just in sport but in every facet of our lives. I think this is the generation who are going to see it happen.
At the footy club, like having equal opportunity, access to resources and just being treated fairly around the club.
I'd say inclusiveness towards women, making sure they feel welcome and comfortable in the football environment.
It shouldn't be the boys are up here and the women's down here. We deserve to have the same opportunities as a male or a non-binary person.
We're both there for the same thing and the same goal.
I think for me it's just everyone having the same opportunities to perform well or have fun, so same grounds, facilities, training nights, physios.
It's about fairness and equal opportunity, it's about respect and it's about culture within the club.
I think our club's definitely had a lot of progress over the last few years. One of our focus is one club. So we really just put a lot of focus into the women's side to make them feel included.
Every now and then we'll do a one club training session, which is really good and it's really beneficial, and I think everybody gets amongst it, and that's at the end of the day all you want to see is everyone getting around each other and supporting each other.
And I think when we train together and we have our pre-season camps together and after game functions, it's all important having the one club all together.
Everyone works together, whether you're setting up, whether you're holding an event, everyone works together hand in hand. There's no the boys do one thing or the girls set up, or there's none of that. Like, the club just makes it really comfortable.
Having the men speaking up for women is so important, so that the women know that they're not just advocating for themselves, that they have the men advocating on their behalf, and that is ultimately what leads to a safe and welcoming environment and gender equality.
Yeah, we're really lucky at the club to have such amazing female leaders, which really inspire the community surrounding even me as a coach. Coming into work, seeing warm faces, come into the club and play tennis, I'm really fortunate, and it's something that everyone in the community should be a part of as well.
For me, it's about being able to show that you've got different layers in the organisation that have levels of access, whether it be in our committees, whether it be in our teams, whether it be our coaches, so that at every level across the organisation you can see that there's that level of gender buy-in, and that it's not just the men at the top making all the decisions, or it's not just the male coaches that are getting all the resources. It's seen to be across the board everywhere.
I think it's really good that we train on the same oval and we have the same oval for our home matches, which is really nice.
I feel like it's, as much as it's good for the girls, it's also good for the boys. Just having the girls around, it kind of just levels us out a little bit, makes us a little bit more accountable for how we're acting around the club.
I like to put myself forward as that person in the club, that if a girl has an issue, that they can come to me freely. I don't think all clubs have that, and I think that's something that's very important and has to be addressed by all tennis clubs and all clubs in general. There must be that female presence that is there to support, let's face it, the other half of the world.
The club is like a family, so when you go see family, you don't look at your nephew different to your niece or your auntie different to your uncle. So because it has such a family environment, there's no difference whether you're senior men, senior women's, boys or girls. That's just something that they do, and I think it's just natural. It's authentic about the club.
It may be more acceptable because of the types of sports that we're playing, or the fact that it's always been traditionally a male sport, or it's always been seen as through that lens of being male dominated.
The club is now 100 and a few years old, and for the majority of that, almost 90 years, there wasn't a girls team, but now the girls team's come on board. It just brings a whole other demographic of people to the club that just makes it that much better. The more people at the club who want to get involved, the better the club is.
I think it's just been accepted because that's the way it was back in the day. I think as well with sport's predominantly been just men in terms of professional sport. But I think, with the obvious ones of AFLW, but even the NRLW, all these women's sports coming on board and getting watched and growing at their own pace, I think at that will start to bridge that gap, which is super important.
If you're also surrounded by a majority men, the onus should come on us to pull everyone in line and actually tell each other what's right and what's wrong. So I think sometimes in a football environment, people can get lazy and not call each other out on certain actions.
While we're certainly on the way to getting to the point where we have gender equality in sporting clubs, we have a long way to go.
I would hope to see a continued growing presence of females. I'd like to see clubs encouraging females, just like we are at Bay Morris, to participate in the sport no matter what level it is.
Having committee structures that have that gender equity at the top is always a good start. And certainly at my club we have 40% representation of women on our committee.
My tennis club actually just recently have some workshop for all gender equal. That was actually a good start to make people aware of the gender equality.
Having girls there and boys all together, it's just like the real world and no different between the footy club or at work.
I'm only 24, so gender equality is normal. Like, it's not an abstract thing. I think it's a generational thing that as you'd want it to happen now, you would expect it to, but I think as time goes on, it'll get better and better.